Good evening. Welcome. Can I get any more time to change in between shows? What was that, about 20 seconds? I had to change my shirt, my coat, my galoshes, my King Kong slippers, everything like that. Good evening. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to You're the Expert. I'm your host, Bill Polchinski. Tonight we have a show of magic motion, and rubber stamp greeting cards. But I just wanted to mention, those of you who've been watching the summer preview show with our new hosts and our new shows, that starts July 5th. That's a Wednesday, July 5th. So all those shows that you heard about and we saw over the last hour, July 5th. Tune in, extra help. And while we're here on You're the Expert, I want to remind you of our toll-free number, 1-800-EXT-HELP. And we have experts on here every week. And this is our new streamlined 1-hour show, You're the Expert. It's 1 hour in Long Island viewing area, but if you live in New York City and Yonkers, it's 60 minutes. So make sure you make the adjustments and be very careful about that. Don't hurt yourself if you're using your cable box. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the experts we have on our show, people who come on and talk about what they do and how they do it. Now, I can tell you what experts don't do, and this happens to me a lot. I go into stores and I'm asking for some help. I ask for a salesperson. The salesperson comes over. I said, do you have this in a different size? Do you have this in a different color? Do you know if this works for an 85 Volkswagen? And the response I get more often than not is, I'm sorry, it's my first day. I don't know. What kind of answer is that? I mean, that doesn't help me. They have to go traipsing off looking for a manager, and then the manager comes in and, sells me something I don't need. Well, you need a sprocket in the shirt, and this is kind of a thread, and you need a $500 suit, not a T-shirt. And, I end up running up the plastic again. So experts really don't say things like, it's my first day on the job. That doesn't help if I get a tray of food spilled on me at a diner. Hey! Sorry, it's my first day on the job. I think the problem is the education system. Go into a store, buy a 49-cent item. I hand a $1 bill to the cashier. Cashier says, gee, I'm sorry, the cash register isn't working. I can't really give you any change. And I'll say, well, it's 51 cents. Oh, really? How did you know that without the cash register? The problem is we're just not getting the help that we need to learn to do the things that we need to do, the things that we need to do to be experts. Now, for instance, products that we buy. This is shaving cream. I won't show you the brand name. Oops. Anyway, shaving. Now, delicate operation performed by literally dozens of people every day. What are the instructions on this can? Directions. Wash face and leave wet. Okay, it's pretty good. Shake can. All right. Hold upright and press top to release lather. They don't even say take off the top. So you can be doing this for an hour and a half before you get the clue that, okay, this is what you do. Now comes the tricky part, shaving. Nobody tells you how to shave. And this is the most dangerous part of the whole operation, because what you're doing is dragging cold, sharp steel across pink, naked flesh, and you can have all kinds of complications. If they would just give you a little bit of instruction to how to do that, you might not, chop your own head off. But, this happens in society. For instance, what if you got on a plane and the pilot's instructions were, adjust hat, straighten wings, sit in chair, fasten seatbelt, fly. Well, excuse me, that's the most important thing they don't tell us. What about a surgeon? You're wheeling in for surgery, and it says scrub hands, put on gloves, put on gown, put on mask, put on hat, operate. That doesn't help me one bit. What if the surgeon messes up in the middle of it? Well, you always could say, well, excuse me, it's my first day on the job. Okay, well, that's how not to be an expert. But we're going to have some experts tonight. Our first guest is George Gardino, a magician, and he's going to be showing us how to do magical stuff. And before we see him, we're going to take a look at this. So come on back.
I'm Dennis Bernard. I'm a television quality control technician. What I do is follow up with customers to make sure that they were satisfied with the work of our field service technicians. I ask them about their level of satisfaction and make sure that they were shown how to use the new remotes, cable converters, and VCRs. These follow-up visits help to ensure that our field service technicians are working to 100% customer satisfaction. I like knowing my job is helping to maintain a high standard in customer service here at Cablevision.
I really like this stuff because you can do things that usual museums wouldn't let you do. You get to watch yourself on the news pretending that you're like a news person. I played on the computers. I like the part where we play with the bubbles because that was really fun. I like the wheelchair where you sit down. Everyone was having fun. That was great.
Welcome back to You're the Expert. Doesn't that look like fun? The Long Island Children's Museum. I want to go. I want to go. Anyway, our phone number again is 1-800-EXT-HELP, and our fax number is 516-596-0715. As I mentioned, it's a magic night here tonight. It's our new abbreviated, streamlined, cool, one-hour version of You're the Expert. And for our first guest, we have a man of magic. He makes rabbits appear out of hats. He pulls cards out of his sleeves. He does everything. He's going to show us a little bit of what he does. Please welcome to You're the Expert, magician George Gardino. George.
Hi, Bill.
This is not George Gardino. This is Tom Berry, golf pro. Tom, what are you doing here?
He disappeared, but I'm always here on Friday night. What happened?
Well, come here. He disappeared.
How you doing?
Don't you know you don't have to be here at 8 o'clock on Friday nights anymore? I guess you didn't see the summer preview show.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch.
Well, I'm glad you're here anyways.
That's right. Wednesdays, right?
Wednesdays you're going to be on. That's great. His
8:30.
own show. That's wonderful. Well, what are we going to do tonight? You're here?
Well, I want to show you how to make a backswing tonight.
All right.
I showed you your grip, your stance, and your posture on all the other extra help series.
Yes, you did.
But tonight I want to show you your backswing and how to take it. You practiced a little. That's right. You're stirring, churning butter. There you go. Very good.
I knew that was only fooling around.
Now with your backswing, you've got your stance.
Feet as wide as my shoulders.
Very good. Very good.
Butt out a little bit.
Yeah, very good.
Club a little behind the ball.
Exactly.
Straighten my arm.
Yes, very good. Left arm straight. Very good. Now as you make your backswing, we're going to try and turn our left shoulder, keeping our arm straight behind the golf ball.
Whoa!
And as we do that, we get the club up in the air.
And I'm keeping my eye on the ball the whole time.
Very good. That's very important. And this is the basic backswing. Also with your right arm, as you can see, it folded up underneath and it's in a good position.
If I was a home run hitter, I would go like this.
Exactly. Baseball position. And a lot of golfers get like this and they wonder why they can't hit the ball consistently.
Darrow.
But the idea is the right arm's underneath, your eye on the golf ball, and left shoulder under your chin. And that's the basic backswing.
And I'm keeping this arm straight the whole time.
Yeah, as straight as you can without hurting the chin.
Uh-huh.
If you feel a lot of pain, I wouldn't keep it real straight.
Call my chiropractor. Call 911.
Are you stuck?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's your backswing. And then for the follow-through, you would do the equal opposite. It's downswing, coming down, making contact with the golf ball.
Whoa.
And then your follow-through.
And hitting through the ball.
Exactly. And going back up without breaking any fixtures like I usually do.
Yeah, you're going to have your own show, and you're going to be able to break all the fixtures you want.
It'll be fun. But that was a basic idea of the follow-through and the backswing.
That's great. Now, can you show us doing that smoothly? Where
Sure.
I'm doing it like riding a bicycle, pushing the
No
left
problem.
pedal, pushing the right pedal.
But I
just want to see you knock down the lights, that's all.
I'm safe here. I don't have my driver tonight. But with my ball position in the middle, my hand slightly to my left, I would make my backswing, rotating my left shoulder under my chin and to the golf ball, to a position that we call parallel to the ground. Noticing my right arm folded under, my left arm is straight, and then from there, I would return the golf club back to the golf ball and back up again without hitting Bill into a position that's known as parallel to the ground. Also on the follow-through, now my right arm is straight and my left arm is bent, and my right shoulder under my chin. And that's a full golf swing.
And in slow motion, it really looks kind of painful. It's like you're grimacing and doing this.
Well, yeah. There's a good way to practice your shoulder turn that you can do in the house without actually, practicing outside. And that's by placing the club behind your back and the folds of your arm. And then you would take your posture, and then you would simply try and rotate your shoulder to the golf ball on the backswing. Then on the follow-through, the other shoulder to the golf ball. So this is something that a lot of people can do inside the house in the comfort of the AC, especially when it gets real hot. But that's an easy way to practice.
That's great.
And it helps you to stretch and loosen your back, especially your lower back muscles. You might find that helpful. That might you might not have to use a chiropractor on you.
Water. Water.
But then this is what we do to a lot of our students to show them their backswing. We make them take their posture, and then we grab one end of it.
Yeah.
We hold their head, and we twist their shoulders. And then we do the opposite. And that's basically the full golf swing.
People are going to think they're watching the J channel in New York City or something like that. We could do this with whips and handcuffs. And
yeah, very well.
Yeah, that's great.
But that's an easy way to practice your golf swing. Both back and forward swing.
Any questions for Tom Berry, our golf pro, please give us a call at 1-800-EXT-HELP. What else you got there, Tom?
Well, this is my sand wedge. This is a golf club that a lot of people would use to hit bunker shots and also little chip shots around the green. And the idea of the sand wedge is that it's got a lot of loft to it so that it helps the ball get up in the air quite quickly, and therefore it lands softly like a butterfly with sore feet. So if the greens that are real hard and real fast, if you use a lower lofted golf club, like a 6-iron, it's got less of a pitch to it, therefore the ball goes a little lower and also will roll a little bit more and have more overspin. So if you're on real fast greens, you want to use something that's got a steeper slant to it to pitch the ball up in the air and land softly. But if you want to, I'll demonstrate, or you'll demonstrate for us the basic pitching stance and pitching stroke.
Now, pitching is my problem. I'm a poor driver and a pathetic putter, but pitching...
Well, the idea when you pitch, as you can see with the golf ball, you'd want to play this by your right foot.
Oh, that far back?
Sure, and your hands a little in front.
That's been the problem. I've been addressing it like this and doing that chili dip in there.
Yeah, hitting back here first.
Yep.
Yeah. So the idea is you play it back in your stance, and your hands by your left foot, and to when you make your backswing, the club would come up, noticing that you keep your arm straight. Then you make a follow through, doing basically the same thing, keeping your hands firm on the follow through. Most people that have a problem with this, they go like this with their wrist. They flip the club with their wrist. They try and scoop the ball up in the air instead of doing what you just did, striking downward and letting the ball pop up in the air nicely and softly.
Now, how much of a follow-through am I using? Am I going parallel to the ground?
No, you would... That's a good point, though. Most people would try and follow all the way through like that. But the idea when you have a short chip shot, you want to try and follow through the same distance that you went on your backswing. What I mean by that, if you went back to this distance, you'd want to follow through the same distance that you went back.
We just had the Shinnecock Open, we mentioned in the preview
the US
show.
Open.
What is that? Have you ever played that?
Yeah, I played Shinnecock about 2-3 years ago. It's one heck of a golf course.
Now, what makes it one heck of a golf course?
Well, it's a seaside golf course. There's very few trees on the golf course, if any. And so you get a lot of side winds, a lot of cross winds, and a lot of hard winds. It blows pretty hard there. And for the Open, they made the fairways nice and narrow. So they had a little, what they call an intermediate rough, which is about 2 or 3 inches thick.
I saw that on TV.
Just about 5 feet off the fairway.
Like a shag carpet.
Yeah, and then you got into some deep shag carpet, which was about 5-6 inches past that. And then if you were unfortunate enough and you missed the real heavy stuff, then you got into those weeds that were about knee high.
Like amber waves of green.
Yeah, that was fun stuff. And if anybody watched the Open, they watched Tiger Woods hit a shot out of the second hole out of that real high grass. And because the stuff grabbed his golf club and pulled his hand back a little bit, just like I just showed like that, he sprained his wrist, and he had to withdraw from the tournament.
Now, how can you avoid that in a situation like that where you're playing with, vegetation that's all over the place?
There really is no way to avoid it. If you get into some real heavy stuff like that, you just got to try and hack it out. And maybe he took too much club and tried to knock it on the green from there, where somebody that's really not that good should take out a sand wedge, something that's really heavy, got a lot of head weight to it, and just bounce the ball back out into the fairway somewhere. He probably tried to advance it too far and made too big of a swing.
Wow.
And that's the best way to avoid that.
Any other observations on the Open? Anything that you saw that astounded you?
I'm kind of glad that Corey Pavin won. He deserved it. He's a gutty old player, and he grinded his head off and he got it in there. But he's got a great short game, and anybody that watched that tournament, they noticed not too many people were hitting a lot of greens. So he was always close to the greens. He's a good putter, good chipper, and he prevailed. You know, he shot even par. So those guys that shoot even par for 72 holes and win the tournament, that's tough. That's a hard playing golf course.
You said it. Now, we have a phone call, and this call is from Bill. Hello, Bill.
Broadway Bill Polchinski.
Bill, are you there?
Broadway Bill.
If Bill is there, we can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me. Can you hear me now, Bill?
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hi, Bill.
Bill, how you doing?
Hello.
Bill
Welcome
Port,
to You're the Expert.
Bill Port from East Patchogue.
Hello, Bill. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, Bill. I'd like to know, please, how can the average golfer, as I am, help cure a slice off the tee?
How's the cure a slice?
First thing, you have to make that slice face. Every time somebody asks you about the slice, you give it that big...
Yeah, look up. Slice is funny. I would say 90% of all amateur golfers or beginning golfers, they slice the golf ball. There is one reason that they slice the golf ball, and that's because sometimes you try and swing too hard, or when you make your swing, you cut across the ball, which means that you use your upper body or your shoulders in this type of fashion across the golf ball, imparting side spin. And a good way to stop that, you're going to try and turn your hips more in a swiveling sensation with your lower body. And if you find out that that's not going to help you, the best thing to do is check your grip. Make sure you got a good strong grip with your left hand, to where if you look at your left hand, you should be able to see at least 2 knuckles on your left hand when it's on the golf club, when it's on the grip like this. If you take your grip and your hand looks like this, you probably got a good chance that you're going to slice the golf ball. So first of all, check your grip, and then feel like you let the toe of the club roll over the heel. That should work, okay?
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Thanks very much.
Bill, you said you're in East Patchogue.
I'm in East Patchogue, and I'll see you at the Riverview on Sunday.
Wow, that's great. A fan. Where do you play out there? Because Tom was talking about being a seaside golf course in East Patchogue.
We are very close to Timber Point Golf Club and adjacent also to West Sable Golf Course. And come on out. We're playing down at the Riverview Restaurant on Sunday afternoon. The Liars.
Everybody's invited. Come on down. Thank you, Bill, for calling.
Okay, Bill.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy.
What are you doing Sunday afternoon? Let's go down there.
Sure, sounds fun to me.
All right.
We'll have some fun.
We have Keith on the phone. Keith, welcome to You're the Expert.
How you doing?
How are you?
My question is, what's the difference between a draw shot and a fade shot?
A draw and a fade. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm a righty.
Okay, a draw is something that starts out a little to the right of your intended target and spins into the left. And a fade is just the opposite. It would start to the left of your intended target and fade to the right. So you hook left and you fade right.
I just want to know, like, how do you hit it?
Oh, how to hit it? Yeah. To hit a hook, if we can look at my golf club, if you hit a hook, you have to allow the toe of the club to roll over the heel. If the toe of the club rolls over the heel, that imparts side spin, and that should occur just the moment prior to impact, and that gets the side spin on the golf ball. Now, slices, usually you come into the golf ball with an open club face, and you do not allow the toe of the club to roll over the heel. So a slice shot or a fade, you try and keep the club face open, and a draw or a hook, you want to feel like the toe of the club rolls over the heel. All right?
Okay. Thanks very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you, Keith. The reason I asked the first caller if he was near the seaside, because you mentioned all the winds and the lack of trees. And
well, West Sayville is it's kind of on the water like that. One of the courses that he plays
seen
at.
That course.
I played it once. I've never played Timber Point, so I'm not too sure. But I heard it's a good golf.
Yeah, West Sayville looks like it's out in the water.
Yeah, well, I know there's a couple of holes that run right along the marsh. It's a fun little course too. It's quite fun.
Oh, Dennis from Yonkers, you're on the phone. Welcome to You're the Expert.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm about a 14 handicap golfer, and I'm about to buy, or I wanted to buy, a set of graphite shafted clubs and mid-size irons. Can you tell me, what are the advantages to graphite and the new mid-size irons, and whether they're a good purchase?
The mid-size irons, the advantage to that is that it gives you an enlarging sweet spot. So that, what I mean by that the face of the golf club is literally bigger, and your miss hits don't have to be that accurate anymore. So you can kind of hit the ball a little over the golf club and still have a very good contact. The idea with graphite is that it makes the club, or the total weight of the golf club, lighter. And it's also a shock absorber. If you've ever played during the wintertime or when the months were real cold, if you hit a ball a little thin or bladed it, you probably felt the stinging sensation in your hands. The idea with graphite is that it will stop that. It's a shock absorber, and it's also lighter. And it's not a bad choice. If you're a 14 handicap and you're looking to improve distance and improve your score, it would be a real good idea to get the mid-size golf club and graphite shaft. Wouldn't be a bad choice. Okay. What brand of clubs have you been looking at?
Well, I've narrowed it down to the Tommy Armour 855 or the TaylorMade mid-size. You got a suggestion?
I like the 855s a lot more.
Do you?
Yeah, it's a better golf club than the TaylorMade. But the TaylorMade mid-size is that foam-filled one, right?
I believe it is, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the 855s better, personally.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dennis, for your call. And Tom Berry, thank you for coming out.
Oh, my pleasure.
Our magician will be back another time. He called in ill tonight, as a matter of fact. He didn't disappear, as Tom Berry said. But you're going to be on all summer long.
Yeah,
golf show.
July 5th at 8:30.
8:30 Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights.
Well, it's great to have you.
Oh,
I'm
my
going to
pleasure.
do a little
Good seeing
business
you.
here. We got some questions left over from the weekend.
Sure.
Maybe they'll have you doing the same thing.
Okay, sounds good.
And if you have any leftover golf questions, just shoot them my way, and I'll answer them in the best way I know how, because I've learned so much from you.
Exactly. You know the whole golf swing now.
Yeah, I do. I can't wait to get out there. I have a little trouble when it's going around the windmill, and
Well, that's okay. You got the side rails. You can bounce it off a little bit.
see, I'm always picking up new tips from Tom Berry. Okay, we have a question left over from the gardening show, which is seen Tuesdays at 7 p.m., and that's with Professor Barbara Shadler. And the question to Professor Shadler is, how should I fertilize my shrubs this time of year? What are you getting at? Oh, I'm sorry. Professor Shadler's answer is, use a liquid fertilizer and spray plants and soil. That's how you fertilize your shrubs this time of year. Of course, this question came in the middle of February, so this time of year is now that time of year. Okay, here's a question from the Pet Show with Mark Marone, which is Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., following Professor Barbara Shadler, and features Barney, the world's dumbest dog. It's worth watching just for Barney, but Mark also gives you a lot of good information about pets. Okay, the question is, how long into estrus cycle should they mate a dog or cat? Now, for those of you boys and girls out there who didn't take Latin, estrus cycle is the in heat time for a pet, and people say, well, that dog's in heat. They don't say that dog is having an estrus cycle because it just sounds too estrus-teric. The answer is 1 week into the estrus cycle or heat period is the best time to mate a dog or cat, or do just what I do. I open the door, let them out, and let all the howling begin. Okay? Those are our questions. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to be back with Bertha Weinstein and Magic Motion on You're the Expert. Come on back.
Did you know that C-SPAN and C-SPAN 2 were created and are supported by the cable television industry? In 1979, Cablevision and other cable companies established C-SPAN as a public service for their viewers. C-SPAN now provides live coverage of the U.S. House of Representatives, and C-SPAN 2 covers the Senate. Both networks carry live hearings, news conferences, viewer call-in shows, and special educational programs kids can watch in schools. Cablevision, get to know us. We've got a lot to offer.
My name is Melissa Jesus. I work for Cablevision, and my job is to build and maintain the underground cable system. My purpose here today is to relocate these boxes from down here in the road up to the house, so there'll be less chance of any water damage that will occur to the fittings or anything like that. We work very hard at putting everything back together to like 100% restoration so that you really can't tell that we were there at all. That's one of our main goals. And keeping the customer happy will keep everybody happy.
in Magic Motion. Our phone number is 1-800-EXT-HELP, and our fax number is 516-596-0715. Fax, ma'am. Nothing but the fax. Welcome back to You're the Expert. I'm Bill Polchinski, and I'm sitting here with Bertha Weinstein. Hello, Bertha. Welcome to You're the Expert.
Hello, Bill. Yeah.
You are a resident of North Belmore for over 30 years.
Yes.
You're a mother of 3.
Yes.
Grandmother of 3.
Yes.
And you teach dance through problem-solving techniques.
Yes.
And you call it Magic Motion.
Magic Motion, yes. It's a, it's a learning through movement program that's fun for the children. And I use story dramatization, props, and music to teach them basic learning concepts. And would you like to see some of my props?
Well, I just noticed I got your sheet of paper which tells all about Magic Motion. It says Bertha's Magic Motion, and I've seen one that says Ms. Bertha's Magic Motion. Yes. Right at the top it says, I hear and I forget. I hear and see and I remember. I hear, see, and move, and I understand.
Yes, because to me, movement is as natural to a child as breathing. And when they learn through movement, then they remember everything. So when they can do it, they can remember it. And they have fun doing it. It's nice. And they learn basic concepts like round, straight, high, low, soft, loud. And they do this with my drum. And they do this. Can I show you my drum?
Sure. Oh, yes, please.
Okay.
Can I hold it up for you there?
Absolutely. My drum is called Magic Mo. The children love it.
1-800-EXT-HELP. I'm just trying to drum up a phone call.
Okay. And this here makes soft sound, loud sound, and the children learn that Magic Mo is a round shape, and he's very happy. And when the children don't remember me, they always remember Magic Mo, because this is their favorite.
Magic Mo.
That's right. That's what we call him. Right. Even though it looks like a little girl, it's really Magic, a little fellow.
It's like Mo from the Three Stooges.
That's right. Yeah. And it's lots of fun for them. We have a game that I use with it called Statues. And I ask the children, can you tell the difference between the sounds? Would you like to try it, Bill?
Do I need any special training for this?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll explain it to you.
As I go along?
If you're over 3 years old, I think you might remember it.
I'll have to check my driver's license.
Okay.
But I think
okay.
I think I might be able to handle it. Shall I stand up for this?
Yes.
Shall I sit down?
And
okay.
what you have to do is listen to the sound. First, this is a walking sound, and when I say freeze, you have to change into a shape. Okay, but first
change into a shape?
Yeah, any shape, like a statue.
Like something out of Terminator 2?
You got it.
Really?
Okay. So first you walk around, Bill, in a walking beat. Then the beat is going to get faster.
Walking to the beat.
Listen to that beat.
Sounds like my heartbeat is going up.
Right? Then it gets faster. And then we say freeze. Uh-oh. And then we take a magic picture of Bill. And there he is, the statue. Okay, and we always clap for Bill. You're free, Bill, now. You're not a statue anymore.
Hey,
and we do this again and again. And then the children take this and they say their name with it. Like you could say, I say, my name is Miss Bertha. And you could say your name, my name is Bill. And they learn...
my name is Miss Bertha.
No, you can say your name is Bill. Yeah.
I'm very concrete at this age. That's great.
Yeah.
Magic Mo.
And he's a very happy fellow.
Can I take your order, please? Would you like fries with that?
You know, sometimes the children are very shy. And what I do to warm them up is I have my puppets here. This one here.
Ooh.
So you can put your hand in that.
Oh, nice.
And he makes all kinds of movements, and he talks to the children. He says yes, claps the hands for the children. And when they do all kinds of exercises with him, sometimes he'll stand up and sit down learning about their special space. And sometimes they'll just kind of hide. They'll do a jack-in-the-box. They won't do it, but when they watch this little Alf do it, they go down into the box and, whoops, up they pop. and they do it together. Now, if you were one of my students, Bill, I would say to you, okay, let's go down into the box, and you would go down,
like this?
down.
Oh, my
we
neck.
count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and whoops, up we pop.
Hey!
And that is what the little 3 to 5-year-olds do.
3 to 5 years old.
Yes, and the little ones do it with their parents, too, as you saw in the video. So,
And I saw in the video there were dads there doing it with the children, too, which is very important. Dads, you got to get out there and do stuff with your kids. Don't leave it up to mom.
Dads have a good time with
Sure.
it, too. Yes, absolutely right. Yeah. Would you want to try this?
Sure.
Or you can try another one. I never quite became too friendly with this one.
This also prepares kids for when they take aerobic dancing, 20 years from now. Hey, 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 step up, step down. Hey, 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 leg up, leg down. Hey, hey, hey.
You got
Sorry.
it. That's all right. They did that.
And what is this guy's name?
That's Alf.
Alf. Well,
yeah, Alf from Magic Motion. Right.
Is this mustache standard operating procedure, or did his nose just get demolished?
I'm not quite sure about that, but I think he was born that way.
Alf looks like a little French chef here.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
Yeah.
Comment ça va?
He is cute.
Yeah, this is great. Magic Motion. What other stuff do you have there?
All right, we have loads.
We
We have a whole bunch of things. We have here the turtle. We have here Timmy the turtle. Now, Timmy hides like that, and the children, when they're very shy, we talk about Timmy the turtle being very, very shy. And then Timmy first comes out, and then whoops, he goes right back in again. Then his little head comes out, and whoops, he goes back in again. Then when the children clap, can you please clap, Bill? And all of a sudden they all come out, and he claps, and the children clap, and at this point they're ready to participate. Because the 2-year-olds, they're not used to being in classes, so they become a little bit afraid.
Sure.
And then when they see the puppet, that helps them too. So it's kind of, and then children like that he disappears and comes out, disappears and comes out. So.
Is Timmy short for timid?
Timmy, I didn't think about that, but that's very good. No, Timothy was Timothy. I don't know where we got the name. I think one of the children named him Timmy the Turtle.
Wait a minute. What am I doing wrong here?
Okay. Put your fingers in, right here. You got fingers.
Yeah.
Okay. If you put your fingers in like this, then you pull this, and he hides into his shell. Right.
I thought it happened automatically.
No, you have to write in it.
Okay, I can handle this. So, Timothy Turtle. Are you a turtle? You bet you're sweet and dippy I am. Now you pull him in there, and like that. And he comes out to wax your car. Yeah. All right, Timmy. Okay.
Yeah, he's okay. Good. Well, did you like to play baseball?
Oh, I do like to play baseball.
Well,
I'm on strike right now, but...
Are you?
Yeah, but
okay. We talk about the shape of this Magic Motion baseball. Now, you might think it's a balloon, but in Magic Motion...
It looks very much like a balloon, but I wish the Mets would use it every now and then.
Okay. And we talk about the color of it, and then what we do is give the children a very expensive baseball bat that they decorated.
Ooh.
And then what happens...
Ahoy, mateys. Har, har.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them
Paper
do.
towel tube.
Yep. And that's their homework when they decorate it. They really like doing that.
Oh, that's nice.
And the fathers and the mothers help them do it.
Little stickers.
Yes, yes. And then the parents pitch this to the children, and the children hit it.
And this doesn't seem difficult for 2 or 3-year-olds.
It takes them a couple of classes, but eventually they get it, and that's for hand-eye coordination. So they really learn their hand-eye coordination. Now,
well, I'm an old hand at this.
Would you like to try that?
I'd love to.
Should I try
I'm ready.
pitching it? Okay.
Sure, okay.
Oh,
Anytime. Just send it over. I'm
Here
ready.
we go. Here's another
I'm
one.
ready. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
he
hit
got
my
it.
hand. I'm taking first base.
Okay. That.
This is
And
great.
the kids absolutely
Hey.
love it, and they do that with it too, right? So it is really okay. We'll
Nice.
put these balls away, and we'll put the bat
Louisville
away.
Slugger.
Yeah, and they have also what the children learn songs. I don't know if they have the pumpkin here, but since you have the hoops out, we use hoops a lot. You want to put this down here?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is, each week I do different, not each week, every few weeks, different concepts. And the concepts using round, we use that. And one of the stories that I do, I use a lot of story dramatization, is a story about a pumpkin, and it's a very sad pumpkin.
Aww.
And we talk about the shape of the pumpkin, and we talk about what makes him happy, and children learn by doing. So, to make him happy, the children have to run around the pumpkin. So I put this down. I can put this over here.
Yeah, just throw them anywhere.
Yeah. I would put this, whoops.
Whoop.
Did I
You
not?
all right?
No, I'm all right.
Still there?
I put it down in the center.
Yeah.
Right like that.
Okay.
And the children will line up, and if you were one of the children, I would tap you, give you a magic tap, and then you would run around the pumpkin, and you would go around that pumpkin, and around again.
How many times do I have to do this?
And then you would run to me, and I'm the teacher, and right. Okay. And
Hey.
then you've learned how your body feels running around the magic pumpkin, and you've made them happy. And usually we put it there, and you give a big smile to your mommy or your daddy. So, and the kids really enjoy that.
MGM presents.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and I use the hoops in different ways. We also use size. Which hoop is bigger, which is smaller. So, in other words, they're learning colors, and I do a number of different stories. The one about the butterflies that I told you about, that
How the butterfly starts as a caterpillar, turns into a cocoon, turns into a butterfly.
Right.
So they're learning a lot of stuff when they're doing this.
I think so.
Do you do anything with angels in the snow?
No. No. Do you remember that when you were little?
Making angels in the snow?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, laying there, getting freezing cold, but flapping, laying on your back, flapping your arms, making the wings.
Yeah. I don't do that. I mean, I haven't done it. If the kids want to do it, they have done it on their own. But we allow that, yeah.
Now, you have 3 children of your own and 3 grandchildren. Have you done magic motion with your own children or grandchildren?
I have not done it with my own children. I started doing this when my youngest was in about 3rd grade. I went back to dance, and then I enjoyed working with the children in early childhood so much, so I went back to school to learn how to work with them specifically. And I became enamored of the 2 to 5-year-olds because I find them very precious, and they're like little sponges. They absorb everything, and they just are full of love and full of life, that it's just a pleasure to deal with them. I really adore them. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does this accelerate the learning of the kids as they're doing it? Can you see changes?
Yes.
Can you see learning going on?
Yes. When the children first come into class, especially the 2.5 to 3.5-year-olds or the 2 to 3-year-olds, they're not used to being in a group, and they're not sure they want to be there. They are not sure about following instructions. They don't really follow instructions. The class is very creative, but in a structured way. So what I have them do is they learn the rules, and they're very happy to do it because they want to participate with the puppet. They want to work with the hoops. They want to work with all the props that I have. So they learn to follow, instructions. So the socialization process comes, and then eventually what they learn are the concepts which are round, straight. We do the stories with that. Then when we do the statues part, it evolves into statue is high, the statue is low, and then statues become wide, statues become narrow, and all of these things are preparations for their learning to read and for learning spatial concepts which they use in math, and something as simple as high and low. We sometimes call it top and bottom. You go to the top of the page or to the bottom. So we do all kinds of stories. And teachers have told us that it's been very helpful. They say to me, we can always tell when a student has had your classes.
Oh, so this isn't just a lot of running around.
No.
This has purpose behind it. Now, who learns faster, boys or girls?
Well, I think that's a little sexist. I'm not going to say that.
We want to know. We want controversy.
Kids are very bright. All children are
nice
very children are very
I'm sure
bright.
It depends on the individual.
And children are lots and lots of fun, right? And see that ball? One of the things that little children have a problem with is sharing. And
give me that.
That's it.
Hey,
and
mine.
We start with rolling the ball. First, they start by rolling the ball to me.
I saw that in the video.
Yes. Then what I have them do is roll the ball to one of the little friends, and then roll it to another little friend. And that takes about 3 or 4 weeks, and that comes with sharing. And as they grow, by the time the class ends, they really know how to do this. So it works.
That's great.
Yeah.
So sharing, space relations, hand-eye coordination, we have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So where can parents come to find you to do this? Well,
parents can call me directly because I work in a number of places. I work at the Brookside School. I do a mom or dad with me there.
And where is that?
That's on Meadowbrook Road in North Merrick.
Okay.
And then I work at the Wantar Library, the Wantar Community Arts Program, and I do a program there for children for ages 3 to 5, and they could call the library or they could call me directly. Shall I give you my number?
Sure, let's have the number.
Okay, it's 221-3644, and then I also work in different libraries. Various
so people just have to look for you and find you.
Yes.
Bertha Weinstein, thank you so much for being with us, and thanks for sharing your magic motion with us, and you can have the ball back.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure. Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to do something here before we cut away, so stay right where you are.
All right.
It's time for a brand new feature on our brand new version of You're the Expert, and it's called Taking It to the Nines, and that's what we're going to do right now. Every week we're going to come up with a different theme. This week's theme is what I don't like about summer. And what we're going to do is come up with 9 letters, which could be either 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, any combination of words that add up to 9 letters. And what we'll do is find phrases to go with each of the letters, phrases or words to go with each of the letters. And this week's theme, as I mentioned, was what I don't like about summer. And the 2-word phrase we came up with is summer, bah, like bah, humbug, like what lambs say, bah. So you could see it on you could see it on TV there. It says summer, bah, and our contributions for this week's Taking It to the Nines are S, sweating, sweltering, U, umbrellas, big, heavy, clumsy, cumbersome umbrellas that you have to drag down to the beach. M, melted ice cream mush. It says mush there, but I don't know how you spell mush, so that's what we put there, mush instead of mush. But M is for melted ice cream mush. The second M is for mosquitoes. Ugh. Sting. Hey, I heard his new album. Pretty cool. E is for expect delays. And why should we expect delays? Well, we could find that out by going to R. And R is for road work ahead. So expect delays, road work ahead. Now we get down to the ba word. Ba. The B stands for burnt barbecue burgers. Or it can also stand for beer burp breath, which we don't like to, I don't even like to think about it. A is for air-conditioned sinuses. You know how you get in your car and it's 22 degrees, and then you get out into the heat, it's 98 degrees, and then you go into the mall and it's, 33 degrees, and back and forth and back and forth. Air-conditioned sinuses. NH. Our last letter is heat rash. We're having a heat rash, a scratchy old heat rash. I hope we're paying royalties on all these songs that I'm using. That's our summer ba, our Taking It to the Nines for this week. Next week, we want you to write in, we have to thank Ron from Ronkonkoma, Val from Valley Stream, Beth from Bethpage for their contributions. Next week, our Taking It to the Nines is July 4th, F-O-R-T-H, because summer really starts 4th of July weekend, and then it goes forth from there. So send in your contributions, 111 New South Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801, taking it to the nines, July 4th, next week. We're going to cut away to a little break, and then we're going to be back with some rubber stamp greeting cards. Don't go away. You're the expert. You are. Use.
I really like this stuff because you can keep things that usual museums wouldn't let you do. You get to watch yourself on the news pretending that you're like a news person. I played on the computers. I like the part where we play with the bubbles because that was really fun. I like the wheelchair where you sit down. Everyone was having fun. That was great.
Take cable away, and what have we got? Well, no cable, no HBO. No HBO, no comic relief. No comic relief, no $28 million for the homeless. No cable, no TNT. No TNT, virtually no place to see this.
I got rhythm, I got music.
But you wouldn't got it because you wouldn't get cable. And no cable, no Nick at Night. No Nick at Night, no Get Smart. And that's not the only way you wouldn't get smart, because no cable, no CNN. No way to get some of the best news in the world. Okay, cable. It's everything television can be.
Welcome back to You're the Expert. Our phone number is 1-800-EXT-HELP, and our fax number is lost. It's 596-0715. That's 516 area code. Give us a call. Give us a fax. I'm here in the studio live with our rubber stamp expert. Her name is Joanne Insinga. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks, Phil.
When I first heard your name, I thought it was Insignia, and I thought, I went to the dictionary, looked up the Latin root of insignia, and it's a sign or mark, and I thought, this is perfect. You have a great name to go along with what you do, but now your name is completely different. It's Insinga.
That's correct.
So, welcome. What do you got here? You got a whole bunch of stuff.
Actually, I wanted to show some rubber stamp greeting card tricks. Basically, rubber stamping can be as simple as just using rubber stamps and stamp pads, but there are lots of other tricks and techniques that you can do to get special effects. The card I'm going to be showing is that.
Pretty. Let me hold that there for you.
Okay. And what I want to explain. Okay. What I'd like to start by explaining is that some stamps are negative images and some are positive images.
Well, we just have positive stuff on this show, so forget all the negative stuff.
Okay, a stamp like this is a negative image, which means it's an outline stamp. If I stamp this down, what I get is an outline of an image. Okay? And then that can be colored in. Now, I have some that I've done in advance. So it actually doesn't matter what color stamp pad you use. You're just coloring in the color that you choose after it has been stamped.
And what are you using to color them in? Or are you going to show?
You can use markers. Yeah, you can use anything you'd like to color them in. But I just wanted to show the negative. Now, what we're going to be doing primarily is a positive image stamp. So you can put that down now.
And don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Okay. And now I'm going to actually start on the greeting card. Okay, I'm stamping this vase stamp, and I'll show you in a moment that this stamp is a positive image.
Oh,
okay?
So we're getting
so it gives you a solid color. That's exactly right. Okay.
That's nice. Are we getting this? Yeah, cool.
So you have to decide what color you want it to be before you use a stamp pad if it's a positive image stamp, because you don't get another chance of coloring it. Now I'm re-inking the same stamp, and I'm going to stamp it on a Post-it note. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm making a mask of that stamp. Okay, I have the same picture on this stamp, and I'm going to cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Okay, now I stamped it so the sticky part would have some of the stamped image on it. And you'll see why in a moment. This technique called masking is used. Well, I'll show you. I'll let you be surprised.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, I'm covering that up.
Very cool. Can I hold this up to show?
You can hold that up. That's great. I put the paper right over the stamped image.
This is not an optical illusion. This is...
covering the design.
Yeah. Can you see the design under there?
Okay.
All right.
And while you're holding that, I'll show you briefly how to clean a stamp. I'm going to put the stamp on the towel, and I'm just spraying it with water. Some people use fancy cleaners. I just prefer regular water in a bottle. and it cleans it like that.
Water-soluble stuff?
Yeah, they're just regular markers.
So if you get making a mess like me, I would do this, of course, wearing lighter clothes, and I would stamp all over myself and my
And then you'd have a bigger spray bottle. Okay.
But that would launder right out, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Or do you just suggest that I be a little more careful?
Well, possibly both. Okay. The stamp I'm going to use now is another positive image stamp, okay? But this is a multicolor image stamp. So what that means is that you can't use a regular stamp pad for this stamp because the flower would be the same color as the stem. So this is the neatest trick. Wait till you see this. What I'm going to do here is use marker to color directly on the stamp. And what I'll do is show you how you can use different variations in color. You get a lot more flexibility on your design this way.
You know, I've been in rubber stamp stores, and I've seen the multicolored stamps, and I always wondered, how do they do
How do they do that?
Do you get that a little bit on each pad, and how does that work out?
Yep.
Are you using
So
different
I'm using
colors
different
there?
shades, that's right.
Very
So it should
nice.
perk it up a bit. So now if I had used a stamp head, as I said before, the leaves would be the same color as the flower. So I'll use a couple of different shades here.
And
we can
these
highlight
markers?
it with darker. These are regular markers. These are actually called Marvy markers, but any markers that you have at home will work as long as they're not waterproof markers. And most markers that you have around aren't. You have to go out of your way to get waterproof markers. Now, you may have been worrying that it took me so long to color it. You were afraid it would dry up.
No.
Okay, well, if that
I'm
should
fearless.
happen, what you do, take as long as you need to color it, you just huff on it before you stamp. That puts moisture back in, and you press your design down. I like to stand when I stamp anyway because it gives me more leverage so I can get a nice clear design.
Oh, so that goes right on the cover-up here that we had on.
That's correct. Now you can see the reason for the masking. When I take the masking off, you can see it appears that the flowers are coming out of the vase rather than looking as though it was glued onto it.
Very nice.
Okay.
Now, you said these markers are waterproof or
No, water-soluble,
Water-soluble, okay.
regular markers. Just regular like you find in the 5 and 10. You can buy them in art stores too, but regular ones from the 5 and 10.
It takes me a while. If I was a student in your class, we might take, an extra semester to do this. And by the way, where would I see you doing this?
Actually, I teach to community groups, enrichment programs, libraries, privately.
And where do you do that?
From Mommy and Me programs to senior citizens.
And where are these
Wherever
places?
they'll have me. Libraries, community groups, schools,
Oh,
private,
so you're not
studio.
anywhere
I have a studio.
steady.
I have a studio also, yes, in Seaford.
Seaford?
Okay, what I did now is put this masking back on, and you'll see why I've done that. I'm going to put a little bit of a brick, table, or platform, if you will, so that the vase isn't just floating in air.
You hold that up.
Yep, you can hold that up, and you can also remove the masking.
I can do it?
That's right, you can do that, yeah.
This is great. I love doing this stuff. Whoa, so it's on the bricks.
That's right.
That is very, very nice.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of color.
A little bit. You got plenty.
Well,
in
I
there
was going to
already.
put okay, we'll leave that off. Okay, let me finish up with a border. I'm going to take this card. This is a scalloped card. It has scalloped edges, but you can get the same effect by just using pinking shears or if you find something at home that has a nice border on it.
Now, are these bay scallops or sea scallops? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. That's good.
Whatever is your preference.
Because I would forget. I would get there and ask for the wrong paper and then be all flustered when I got home.
That's right. No, you don't have to worry. Okay, I'm just using a piece of this Post-it note to stick this down a little.
Okay.
Okay.
Those Post-its come in handy.
They come in real handy. You'd be surprised. Okay, I'm using raised ink pad now. This is a regular stamp pad. It just has a raised surface. And I'm just going to put that all around the edges so that I can get a nice border because of my scallop. Now what I did is I taped this down on the folded side of the card. You'll see when I pick it up. So you don't have to worry that I'm going onto the back edge of the card. And now I just want to remove my tape to the front so I can get the bottom here. Okay. Now, Looks like a mess, but hopefully when I pick it up.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that. Now you want to peel off the tape?
Not yet.
No. Oh.
Nope, not yet. Premature. Yep. Okay, what I'm going to do now is a technique called sponging. Okay.
Sponging.
And what that will do is just mute the white paper so that it looks almost airbrushed.
Mm-hmm.
Say it looks almost airbrushed.
It looks almost airbrushed. I couldn't believe it.
Okay. Now you can peel it off.
Now I can peel
now
everything.
You can, yeah, that's right.
I peel that thing.
Yeah.
And here's where we end up with a beautiful greeting card. Look
that
at
was
that
removable tape.
Removable tape.
Lucky for you.
Yes, thank goodness. And this, could be shown somewhere down in Soho, and I'm sure a lot of people would pay big money for this. But this is our work of art.
You can fold it up and you're all set.
Fold it
right
that away, yeah.
Yep. You got it.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that's beautiful. This is terrific. Joanne Insinga, thanks so much for being on
pleasure.
You're the Expert.
Thank you.
This is beautiful stuff. Thanks for showing us how to do it.
Glad you enjoyed it.
And I'd like to thank all our guests who were on our show, and Tom Barry and Bertha Weinstein and Joanne Insinga for being here. And we're going to be back next Friday night, 8 p.m. You're the Expert. Everyone have a safe and happy weekend. Good night, everybody. See ya.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bill, and all the experts. Another great show. Hey, if you think that you're an expert at anything, and I do mean anything, and you want to be seen on television, why don't you let us know? And also, if you want to be a part of our great chili contest on July 28th, you need to let us know that as well. Write to You're the Expert, care of Cablevision, 111 New South Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801. And as always, I have had a blast. This was a tough but a great week. I hope you have an even better weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.